Welcome back to Arkansas Bigfoot, everybody. Glad to see you out here today. Well, as Pooh Bear would say, it's a blustery day out here in the woods, but that's okay. That breeze feels kind of good. We were looking at this structure and how they put extra leaners up against it. Thought we'd leave a few apples for them on this trip out before we get headed back. One of the things I'd like to remind everybody, the video Enter the Drawing. If you haven't got your name in the hat for the drawing at the end of the month, now's a good time to get that taken care of.
Definitely.
We're getting closer to that time period, and we're getting extremely close to our 5,000 subscriber goal for the end of the month. So get your name in the hat. We got some pretty cool stuff to give away for you. And we were standing here, we could hear a few huffs and grunts and what sounded like
some limbs breaking and
just a little bit of everything. So keep an ear out and we'll see what we see. Had a high-flying plane here for the past 15 or 20 minutes that just doesn't seem to want to leave the space. So you'll probably faintly hear them buzzing around up above. One of the things I'd like to bring up today is for the people that are out in nature, hiking, fishing, camping, hunting, just doing whatever that they enjoy outside. Just hear me out, because hopefully it'll all make sense as I tie it all together for you. But yeah, if I told you for your house to buy a fire extinguisher or a smoke detector, you wouldn't second guess that. You'd just go ahead and do it, because you know it's probably a thing that you should have if you don't have. So while you're out in the woods, I would strongly suggest that you try to find a dog whistle that is rated 60 hertz or higher. And I know you're kind of scratching your head going, what's he talking about having a dog whistle out in the woods for? I'm not going to try to call a dog. Well, no, hopefully not. But like I said, there's a reason behind everything that I talk about and the things that we say to you. And you've heard us talk about the frequencies and the vibrations and all of that. And just from a little inside knowledge, the 60 hertz frequency is something that is able to break the infrasound frequency up, so it is not so damaging to you. It's also a frequency that's used to open up certain areas that you might unawareingly step into. Not much you can do about it if you don't have something to break that resistance.
Yeah, it's a great counterbalance for infrasound.
At different times out here when we've been walking on one end of the woods, and then way off in the distance you can hear that big plot hound sound off. You know, first assumption would be that they could hear, see, or smell one of the Bigfoot moving closer over to their area, and that, you know, is even kind of what I thought till I learned a little bit more about stuff that was going on. But they're able to make these high ultrasound pitches, and I believe the dog sounds off because he can hear that, similar to the dog whistle. I believe they make that when they're moving from one end of the woods to the other to be unseen.
I agree.
So
we've become used to associating them with the infrasound and haven't really talked about the ultrasound with them. And I believe that's a really good point with the dogs.
but that high pitch frequency, you know, they can communicate in a voice range that's above our hearing, but things like, you know, the dogs or wolves or anything capable of hearing that ultrasonic pitch can hear it.
I think that's part of how they can be great distance from each other and communicate without us hearing more than maybe a response system, you know.
So what's the practical application of having that dog whistle in your pocket? Well, it's one of those things that you'll just have to cross that bridge if you ever hopefully not have to get there to it. But just look at it as buying a little safety insurance. They're $3 to $10 a piece depending on where you get them.
Yeah, a little like having pepper spray or something.
Yeah, but just make sure that it's rated 60 hertz or higher. Okay, so there's all that broke off at the end of that.
And
That's the one that had that limb stuck up in the middle of it.
Now there's another stick
laying on it.
A little glyph here. X.
So it's kind of like me saying eat your broccoli, it's good for you. Might not necessarily like it or understand it, but just a little bit of advice to try to help you out in case of emergency.
Pretty harmless stuff.
I think the next thing I wanted to bring up is all of the stuff here recently that we've been bringing out in the bucket has came from viewers and subscribers. They have donated a bunch of different things.
A lot of sardines and
peanut butter, sardines, granola bars, some little candies and
cakes,
cookies, and just all kinds of stuff. So, you know, we greatly appreciate it, and I know
it's a huge help.
Big guys appreciate it even more so than we do. But
absolutely. And to some it might sound silly, but I really feel like they know, you know.
I think the only thing in the bucket today that I actually went out and picked up were the apples. Everything else has came from several other people. So thank you guys, we appreciate it.
And even the apples and the cereal mix that we put together, and that comes from some of the other donations that are made, and we couldn't do it at this level without you guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We've got company. Mercy.
Yeah, earlier the tone in my right ear got extremely loud, and then I went completely deaf in it for a minute, and the energies, they are plain.
I've got bumps from head to toe. Which, contrary to what most people believe, is not all the time.
90% of the time.
The way I explain it, when we feel that, it's usually our energy field bumping up against their energy field. We may not be, you know, we might have 10 to 20 feet between us, but
well, for everything we left the last time, I'm only seeing a popcorn bag and a Ziploc bag.
let me grab these real quick. We can talk while I'm...
And an empty sardine can.
Somebody has a love for those sardines.
Well, good, because we got some more for them today. I know that's just your favorite thing in the world, to have to crack open and spill on yourself.
Right.
But well, that rock's been rolled all the way to the back. It was up against the side of the box when we left it the last time.
I'm thinking about moving that box. Not today.
I'm going to pull my glasses down and zoom in on this and see what it is. It looks odd to me from here. Might not be anything, but it just looked a little weird. I guess we'll figure it out when we get up to it. Yeah, and there goes the hound sounding off. There's all kinds of goodies down in there today. There's some fruit cups and a whole big pot full of gumbo.
I need more tree. You realize this?
I borrowed the canister that Bruce sent us that had the pretzel peanut butter things in it and put those in a bag, so we've got some of those for them as well.
Cheerios.
That's got granola bars, Rice Krispie treats, Cheerios, peanuts, a couple little cookies, and their cereal bag. Got a bunch of peanut butter and apples down in there. I know they like the vegetable stew, so there's some rice and gumbo. See how they like that. It's your most favorite thing in the world to do, isn't it?
I love y'all too.
Have to put you some little hand wipes or something in the bucket.
I've never had a marble like this.
No.
I don't know where this came from.
No, that's
It's
not.
clear with a red center.
Yeah, all
And
of ours are colored.
Thank you. Isn't that cool?
Alright, so we got that tree fully loaded. I think we're going to get on back to the back and get the rest of this taken care of. I like that transition period between all of it being green and some of it starting to turn.
Mm-hmm.
There was something I had on the tip of my brain earlier that I was going to talk about, and it is just kind of escaped me at the moment. It had to do with, I wasn't sure if it was an email or a comment or something that we had read from somebody asking about Oh, the migrations, if they migrated.
Some do.
And, you know, everything about it kind of falls more in line with, they migrate to points that are more energetically in line with them, more so than they migrate for food source, if that makes any sense to you. The food source isn't as much of a factor as it is being in places that are more resonant with their energy.
Especially for this type, the lesser type, or what they call, you know, kind of that lower type that would be a little more difficult to work with, or might have more abrupt reactions to us.
Well, they tend to stay more in isolated places, where the ones like these here aren't afraid of being in fringe areas. I think they thoroughly enjoy the entertainment of watching people and seeing activities going on. And what else are you gonna do?
Well, I feel like they learn a lot, and these like to learn. You know, they like to know. And sometimes we can think something, but until we witness it or experience it, we don't know it. And for these, their experience is very important, as opposed to the ones that are in the more remote areas. They're a little more isolated. So we freak them out a little bit. They freak us out. But it's actually, Uncle's really kind of relayed that they aren't the majority.
Well, I'm sure my escapades and experiments out here have given them quite a bit of entertainment over.
I get the word shocking.
Thanks.
Surprising, shocking. It's funny. But still fun. I mean, nothing derogatory. I think they're always fascinated to see what we'll come up with next. Really, since the doll experiment and the magnet board, we haven't brought a lot of experiments out so much, but seemed like after that.
Well, they've been giving us plenty of different stuff to look at, so I guess it's a trade-off. We do a little, they do a little.
Yep.
Hang on, let me back up. I don't know if they can see the log that is down back there in the back, but something just moved across the front of it. I just heard a crunch. Well, that general area has been their primary hangout for the last few weeks, so
Kind of where
we'll get on up there and get the sardines popped open and ring the dinner bell and
move on up.
well, they had a party with it. Peanut butter cup there, sardine can baggies. Alright. I'm gonna go watch over here for a minute while you're doing that.
All right.
Yeah. It's obvious why they like that area back there. That's a dense tangle.
Need bigger trees or smaller people or something. Just like it was before the last time we were back here. Yep, every little bit.
Hoping he'd poke his head up.
You want to walk back that way?
We will in just a minute. I wanted to look at this thing that they pushed down behind us over the trail. It had that big glyph underneath it. And
on the back, yeah.
I don't think anything's been moved around with it, but I just wanted to glance at it real quick. Yeah, it makes me think that they're just sitting here for cover or something. There's a spot right up in that looks like it's all
Maybe one of the little ones.
mashed down. Alright guys, we're gonna walk on back that way for a little bit. We'll pick this up in just a minute. Alright, so we'll give you a look at this before we head on back deeper into the woods. Got their sardines and a applesauce cup and cereal bags, granolas, Cheerios, cookies, Rice Krispie treats, peanut butter, apples, popcorn, more apples.
I'm out of tree.
Rachel says she needs to bring more sardines out here.
They wouldn't mind.
They definitely wouldn't mind.
I wonder, do you flip a rock or something when you're a Bigfoot to decide who gets it? Or do they play rock, paper, scissors?
They might flip each other, I don't know. Might be some of that crash, bang, boom we hear.
Right? My sardines.
Trying to decide which way is the best way to walk around it. I think up through there and then hook a left maybe. You kicked your bucket.
It's tragic. And just so everybody knows, I am still lost in the Sasquatch doll. Is still lost in the woods somewhere.
Yeah, that was another thing we needed to mention. We still haven't ran across those dolls anywhere, so.
I have no idea what condition I'm in.
Which direction do you want to go? Because what we're doing is getting ready to set up for one of Rachel's videos. Gonna do a session out here with the big guys on End of the Veil. So if you want to catch any of that, the link will be in the description box, and wherever else I can find a place to put it on here for you. But pretty intriguing, some of the information that comes through. Well, I don't know. Now I have to go backward.
Yeah, sorry. I wasn't fast enough. It's a young one.
Yeah, looks like the outside edge pushed over and toes, and well, I guess that must be the trail.
And I don't know, there may be a number of your viewers that haven't been to my channel, and just to give you a heads up, you might want to backtrack a little bit, but there are times it'll be just Anku, who we used to call when we started Big Daddy, but he presented himself and started working with us more directly through mind speak, channeling, etc. And then other members of the family have also participated. So I think there's one on there called Family Gathering, and it kind of gives an update as to who's the most current.
You'll have to bring a game card for that to keep up with all the players that pop up, but
That's the way it feels.
trying to weave away around all these thorns and everything, so.
Glad we're finally able to get back up in this other part.
Well, this looks like a good workable spot. What do you think?
It's been busy.
Well, guys, we're on another mission. Her channel is getting really close to hitting her 1,000 subscriber mark. I'd like to see that happen for her.
Yeah.
So, you know, pop on over there and give it a visit. Check out some of the stuff going on. Some of it is Bigfoot related. Some of it is more ethereal or personal related. Just
Spiritual growth.
Spiritual growth, all kinds of things. There's just
little mix.
Just a little bit of all of it. So I think we're going to end this one here today and get set up for hers. So appreciate you coming along. Go check out Into the Veil.
Get
Thanks.
those subscribers so we can get the prize drawn for.
What?
I said, and get these subs so we can get this prize drawn for.
I already said that at the beginning.
And I'm saying it at the end because I love you like that.
I need coffee.
Thanks, guys.